Hey, Stacy. Hey, Uncle Buck. Hot today. Hot every day these days. And I also hate it. Hey, Shelly. Got lost and found yourself here. I feel like that's how a lot of my viewers show up. I wandered off the beaten path. Hey, Buttercup. Better to wander off the beaten path than to wander the beating off path. Best I could come up with. Anyway, as for Rose's boyfriend, I don't really care. I don't know who. I don't even really know who Rosie is, so. Keep calling me whatever. The girl, world girl? Yeah. Which means I don't give a shit. Ask Booty. No, I don't think I will ask her. Hi, Donna. Cute, Shelly. Although, I finished that, so I'm now on to Didn't tell you the price of a payday. I did finish that, so now I'm on to Samurai Champloo. Which is also a very good show. Still alive. One I never heard of, but well, I can do. Lot of influence from like hip hop. A lot of rap hip hop influence in that one. Since I'm not really into hip hop at all, it does mean the soundtrack doesn't really resonate with me, but like they're it is a great show. It's just like I said, I'm not into hip hop, so the heavy hip hop influence doesn't that part doesn't really resonate with me. But still a great show. And it also draws a lot from like old stories of wandering samurai. So samurai would wander into town, find some wrongs and right them. So while it does have an overarching story, unlike Cowboy Bebop, which has no overarching story, Champloo does. It's still a lot of the episodes are still more or less self-contained. Cooked chicken last night. Nice, nice. On the wood. Sounds good, sounds good. I had rice last night. From my rice cooker. Struggling to be bothered. To bother. I mean, need food to survive, right? Not like I can afford to get takeout, so. Thus, I just cut up an onion, cut up a pepper, throw them on the rice cooker. Wrapped it. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been there, just no appetite. I will say, the fact that I've gotten into a routine regarding making supper, I think actually helps a lot. You know? Even if I'm not necessarily all that hungry at that time. Hey Sandra, like even if I happen to not be all that hungry on a given night, well, time to make my supper. And having it be the same thing probably helps with that part of it. It's not like I'm having to put any thought into what I'm gonna have. What am I having for dinner tonight? Same thing I had last night. Same thing I have every night. Okay. Wildfire. Not up where I am, I don't think. don't think Cornwall's being too affected by it. Toronto seems to have been hit hard. Saw someone post that the air quality in Toronto today is the worst in the world. What do you like to snack on? I have some chips and have some Squish berries. Bonfire. Things on the side like Ontario, New York. The smoke is awful in New York. Yeah, so like I said, where I am hasn't been hit by it. Don't think. But some parts of Ontario, yeah, the smoke's been doing some damage. The smoke's been like causing problems. I think. Listen, shoot. No. No, I'm a good few hours from Toronto. I'm a solid 4-hour drive. Like I said, yeah. I haven't looked up any more details on it. So hot down south, yeah. Smoke has reached New York and Michigan as well. Yeah. Definitely seems to be causing some problems. Saw one person note it was the first time they'd seen their weather app show the weather as smoke. Do I leave this down here? Here where I am, usually hot. currently only 24, so that's not as horrible. Still, still higher than I prefer, but better than the high 20s. Forecast horrendous rain and flash floods. Oof. I think it's also no. No, Canada gets summer. Was in Fahrenheit. I don't actually know. Around 80, I think, maybe. You're 96 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that sounds awful. Sometimes yeah. Yeah, I would not want to live in the southern US. For a few reasons, but the weather is definitely a big one. Humidity smothers you, yeah. Yeah, we get bad humidity in Ontario. Melting a wee bit dehydrated. Like there are days where you go outside and you're not so much walking as swimming, you know? You know how to party? I mean, cool, but I don't like to party, so 35, 95 right now. I doubt it. I don't think that you would be able to get me to party. No, I really don't think you would be able to turn me into a party animal. Just I just no. Pure stubbornness. There's that too. Yep, Shelley comes from a land down under. Yep. Uncle Buck once again sharing a brain cell there. Buck's from the Windy City. That's Chicago. Hey, Catherine. Why'd Lindsey Graham call Dr. Oz instead of calling 911? I don't know. I'd assume Lindsey Graham. Kind of a dumbass. In all likelihood, he didn't think it was that serious. He didn't he didn't think it was anything particularly serious. He didn't see any particular reason to call the ambulance right away. He just I'll call Dr. Oz, get his opinion on this. I'll ask him if it's going to be anything serious. Over in Chicago, and we ate at the baseball guy's restaurant. The one with the big black glasses. Carrie. Screw Doc Oz with the limp dick. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Oz went from being, a very well-respected neurosurgeon to an utter fucking quack. Hey, Foodie. Not live tonight? Not live right now? Unusual. Speaking of quack. Nerd. Before I came live, I refreshed my refresh my YouTube comments before I came live, and somebody had made some comment about looking forward to your terminal. What's it? Initially, I was just gonna remove the comment, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna block this fucker. You know, like, I'm looking forward to your friend dying. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off. I don't have schematics for shit. I do have the schematics for the Enterprise D at my mom's place. Got a box of like just Star Trek stuff, including the blueprints for the Enterprise D. It's the only schematics I've got. For them, yet. We need the teleporter. Unfortunately, it does not have the details on how to make a teleporter. Transporter. You can tell this from. Is it data? Good, right, good night, Chantel. The person we gotta ask, if we're talking about transporters, the person we gotta ask is Chief O'Brien. Best to ever do it. His name's Saint. Not just a saint. He wasn't just a saint. He was a Union man. I love that episode. I love that episode of Deep Space Nine. I love that episode of Deep Space Nine. And it is a great line. Wasn't just a hero, he was a Union man. Wish you could remember. But just in general, I also generally wish I could remember a lot of things. Play-by-play memory for TNG? Well, yes, because I am an ain't. This episode I watched the whole series. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens. Like, you watch a series and it's just, you watch something and you forget it as soon as you're done. Yeah, if it's not something that you can do for a full binge rewatch. Yeah, I did mine not too long ago. I mean, it's been at least a year since I finished my binge. You were high? Yeah, that'll do it. Because I'd done a full binge of the entire franchise. From first, from including the pilot. I even watched the pilot of the original series. Which was kind of interesting. So yeah, from that all the way up to I guess it was season 3 of Strange New Worlds. Or what was the last one? Shit, what was the most recent start? I don't even remember. What's saying to do? Giant stack of massive patterns to inspect. Even the beat boy to free myself. Yeah, watched the animated series as well. That one was weird. Animated series is a weird one. The Lower Decks and Prodigy were great animated Star Trek shows. I thought they did a cartoon thing. I'm really sad that they didn't because each season for each season of Lower Decks, they did a poster that was satirizing poster for one of the for the appropriate Star Trek movie. So season 1 of Lower Decks had a poster parodying Star Trek the Motion Picture. Season 2 parodied Wrath of Khan. Season 3 parodied Search for Spock. I wish they'd gotten to complete the set, But they only got up to 5. Yeah. You were able to parody Undiscovered Country, Generations, First Contact. Insurrection, and Nemesis. So they had 5 unparodied. I've seen Wrath of Khan in ages. I will say, when I was doing my Star Trek binge, I skipped the Abrams ones. I skipped the Abrams trilogy. I fucking hated those movies. Beyond wasn't so bad. Beyond wasn't bad. Because you got the feeling that that it was being made by somebody who actually fucking liked Star Trek. But the 2 that Abrams directed, Abrams did not like Star Trek. He didn't understand Star Trek. He admitted that he didn't get Star Trek. That he thought it was too cerebral. It's like, yeah, that's the fucking point. That's the fucking point, jackass! It's not supposed to be fucking pew pew bang bang nonstop fucking action. That's not the goddamn point of the franchise, you fucking dickwad. It's about exploring the fucking human condition. It's about space exploration as a metaphor for exploring the human spirit. That's what the franchise is. But no, let's just do fucking pew pew boom boom. God, fucking hate it. Fucking hated those 2 movies so goddamn much. Also, Abrams did the 2 worst Star Wars movies sequels. Force Awakens was okay, but leaned way too heavily on nostalgia bait. Leaned way too heavily on just, yeah, we're gonna just redo A New Hope. Like Force Awakens was just A New Hope. It was just the first Star Wars movie, just beat for fucking beat, almost. And then Rise of Skywalker was just not a good movie at all. Once again, leaned very heavily on repeating just beats from Return of the Jedi. It's like, hot take maybe, but J.J. Abrams should not be doing. I don't think J.J. Abrams should make movies based on existing franchises. I don't know anything. I've never watched any of the stuff that he's created on his own. I've never watched any of his own stuff. But between his Star Trek stuff and his Star Wars stuff, I don't think that he is actually a good choice for existing franchises. The 2 cerebral comments, yeah. I don't remember the exact word he used, but like intellectual, cerebral, or intellectual, or whatever. I don't remember the exact word he used, but that was the basic point. Like that was what he was saying, is that it was too smart for him. Like what he was basically saying is that Star Trek was too smart for him. It's like bold choice to admit you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, I don't think I would have been the type of person to step forward and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm too stupid for that show." See, I'm a buffoon. I'm an idiot. I can't watch anything smart. Kind of director that ruined the Science Channel back in the day. Also, if I'm honest, the fact that Lost, he went into Lost with no real plan. He came up with the central mystery, but had no actual, like, went in with no idea what the answers were. That feels just fucking lazy. It reminds me of when someone ends up breaking up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, they start talking shit about how gross they were. We're just all up in that. It's a thing to admit. But yeah, like it's the fact that he went into Lost just making it all up as he went along. I feel like if you're going to do a mystery story, you need to know the solution. If you're just making it all up as you go along, it's not going to be coherent. Especially when it just keeps going and going and going. I mean, that part, the fact that the studio kept asking for more and more seasons. Yeah, yeah, like that's on the studio. That's going to just gonna hurt things, but at the same time, J.J. Abrams, like if J.J. Abrams had come in and been like, here's my plan for where the series is gonna go. Yeah, if we get picked up, then I got like two or three. Yeah, I got ideas for two or three more seasons in there. If we need to extend it, I know how to extend it if necessary. But if I only get one season, then this is how it goes. If I get more seasons, then I do know how to bring it. What to do with it. Yeah, if he'd gone in like that, great. But he went in like, okay, here's my pitch for the first episode. Okay, what about the rest of the series? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Cross that bridge when we get to it. You know what happens in episode 2? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll write episode 2. We'll write episode 2 when episode 1 is done. It's a shitty way of doing a mystery. And and yeah, the fact that it kept getting extended more and more and more and more and more. Abrams could have said no. Abrams could have just said, "No, I know how the story's gonna go." Card is a perfect GIF. Yeah, the head palm. He very well young. But he didn't have a plan and he just wanted money, so it was like, sure. Sure, we can bullshit something else for season 28. It's fine, it's cool, we're good. Having a plan is just stupid. Again, he did admit to that. I mean, like, there are writers who, write by the seat of their pants. But the thing is, like, once they've written, they'll go back and edit. And yes, Tylenol soon. Hurrah. You can't really go back and edit season 1 when you're already on season 3, you know? So yeah, I don't like J.J. Abrams as like a creator, as a director. But I do say that with very, very, very minimal experience with him. Just fucking awful Star Trek movies. His 2 awful Star Trek movies. His middling and shitty Star Wars movies. And what I've read about Lost. Just walk back in here from getting ice and I have to get back up. Well, that just sounds frustrating. Meth head. You love chicken skin. Chicken skin is pretty good. It's the best part of the chicken. Because all this, hey, heck, whatever seasoning and whatever seasoning you put on chicken, the skin absorbs most of it. The rest of the chicken just ends up being kind of flavorless, just kind of tastes like water. So I'm not a big fan of chicken. Had this marinating for 2 days. And in that case, the rest of the chicken's probably going to absorb a fair amount of the seasoning, but 3188 in the rest of the house, I don't want to go out there. Fucking summer. Lemon pink, peppercorn, garlic, and thyme rub. Injected the breast and thigh with herb butter. Their favorite part of the turkey. I always ate the drumsticks. I've always been done the drumsticks. Save the neck for you. I'll kill the wings. Yeah, for me, whether turkey or chicken, the drumstick is my favorite part. Battle of the Ren Fair just for that. Yeah, never had a chance to get it to it. Go to a Ren Fair. You're a breast kind of girl. You love some titty. Turkey sounds good. Go home, split down the back, and laid flat while baking. You got in trouble at one? Dressing as a red shirt exploring the planet is not allowed. I don't see why not. I mean, like, there's bound to be a lot of crossover, right? Between Ren Fair fans and Star Trek fans. Didn't break character once. One of my more favorite outings. They take that shit super serious. Oh, why take it that serious? I don't know. More reenactment dudes do a lot of time. I don't know. I feel like they probably should have loosened up. Call a troll twice since coming online about an hour and a half ago. Suppose if you wanted the experience to be really authentic, you would have had to die. Sounds escorting you out. And you're talking to your com about the aggressive native inhabitants and their hierarchy. I do feel like what would have really completed it would have been if someone fake stabbed you. You know, if like, because you said you were a red shirt. First red shirt to make it back alive. Yeah, if somebody had like fake stabbed you, that would have completed it. I'm gonna get more water. I'll be back in a minute. Also, I'm also gonna pee, so I'll be back in 2 minutes. Part 2 for Paradise on HBO Max. I don't even know what that show is. So I can't help you. Of the package watch, I was just wondering if there's a part 2. I mean, apparently there is a season 2 for a show called Paradise on HBO Max. Oh, actually, Hulu. That's a Hulu show, actually. What is Hulu HBO Max? I don't fucking know. But a quick Google suggests that Paradise does have a second season. So I don't know if that's what you're asking or. Different show. Well, then I can't help you. Thanks, Hack. I just got followed on Blue Sky by somebody called Baby Richman. Did our Would You Rather style trivia night? I mean, we can try, but shit, here, documentary, zero objectivity, not worth the time. Documentary about what? Seems to be a band. Looks like some band, Baby Richmond. Yeah, what's the documentary about? Feederism? Like girls in a mansion with a weirdo? Particular dude instead of women, and frankly, were adults and made their choice knowingly. So apparently, England lost to Argentina in the World Cup. Or Spain. I don't know. But US lost. Or not US. English team lost. One of their players, one of the English players had played golf with Trump, and then they lost. Sounds about right. Yeah. This draft is huge. Scale too big. No. Too big is probably easier to fix than too small. Because too big, you can always just reduce it. too small. That's what she said. Fair, fair. The person made think so. Sort of. Sort of remember it. Imagine a life-size model. Fully wired. Oh, the Sentinel thing. The Sentinel purse, right? Wasn't it like a Sentinel head? Six by five. Imagine making that a cake. A 6 by 5 foot cake. I mean, that would be pretty cool. That'd be a big ass cake. $99% sure I could engineer a cake like that. No, I just need it. The reason is to have a giant ass cake. Yeah, Uncle Buck's birthday, yeah. Just kidding. Suppose you can't eat it, then I don't know. You have friends? Cake angels? And you shouldn't. Figure out a cool faux one. Giant cell shade. That'd be the new red suit mixer by popping out of it. That would be pretty fun. Who doesn't love, somebody popping out of a giant cake? It's always great when somebody pops out of a cake. Get out of Rice Krispie treats. Rice Krispie treats are great. Your design for any of your characters. Just some sort of cake themed design for every character. Yeah. Give every character some kind of cake themed design. Kevlar is heavy. I mean, it is meant to keep you safe, so. Next one's for lightweight. Some of the show bits are Kevlar. Yeah. It's probably the smart way to do it, yeah. Yeah. Pretend to 14 knows, yeah. See, life is heavy. Deep. See, that's why if I was ever to do, I don't think I ever would do cosplay, but if I did, it'd have to be something that's like light. Props too. Always have to think about transport. Yeah. Kind of ladies ones. But like I said, I don't think I'd want to do cosplay. Trade something you like. Eh. I'm just not much for cosplay. What's this? Checking what does Doug Dimmadome from Fairly Odd Parents. Hear her hat from a mile away. I don't even know who that character is. So. Doug Dimmadome. Ah. All right. Duck, go ahead. Yeah, exactly. That's the logic because you can find her anywhere. Simple but great costume. Doodle Bob. I'll take your word on that one being ridiculous. Because I don't feel like looking that one up. SpongeBob, bleh, whatever. You have to do the voice. Is that what Doodle Bob is? The 2 hours later thing? 2 hours later meme? That's the time card. Oh, you're just okay, you were just referencing SpongeBob? Okay. Because I do know that meme. It's a meme I know about. Alternate reality SpongeBob. Kevin the Snail. Gary. I feel like most people my age are shocked that I never watched whenever I tell people, like whenever someone finds out that I didn't watch SpongeBob, I feel like people are often surprised to learn that. You never saw much of it. You didn't purposefully you have kids. Fair enough. Yeah, it just feels like for millennials, there is an expectation that like if you're a millennial, you probably watched SpongeBob. And I never did. Ren and Stimpy. I did watch Ren and Stimpy. even had their tape, their album. 2 albums, actually, because I also had their Christmas album. Or Yaxmas album. I don't think you're happy enough. That's right. I'll teach you to be happy. I'll teach your grandma to suck eggs. Yeah, Chris Nietzsche. They don't know that they're ugly. That's very funny. A fly marrying a bumblebee. I don't really remember the show. I don't really remember much about Ren and Stimpy. Like, I really don't remember a lot of the bits. I remember most of the Happy Happy Joy Joy song. Vaguely remember the Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence song. Don't whiz on the electric fence. You can tinkle in the toilet. That's why it is there. I know that line. Log. I remember log. And I remember the anthem of the Royal Canadian Yaxman. Royal Canadian Mounted Yaxman. Our country reeks of trees. Our yaks are really large, and they smell like rotting beef carcasses. And we have to clean up after them. Our saddle sores are the best. We proudly wear women's clothing. The searing sand blows up our skirts. Toast thing, yep. Oh, I forget the next bit. That our bones will bleach in the sun. And we will probably go to heck, for that is our great reward for being the Royal Canadian Mounted Yaxman. It is worth noting that the dude who made Ren and Stimpy, fucking awful. Horrible dude. Kind of blanking on his name. A lot of people are. Right, John Kay. When I say awful, I mean like groomer. Like actively groomed teenagers. Also, he's just kind of an asshole. Um, yeah, he's very much. He's definitely pretty like racist and misogynistic. Um, if you've ever heard the term CalArts style, you've probably seen it used derisively for basically any cartoon that centers women or people of color. And he was the one who came up with that term. No. Suggest you're probably not online enough, or not online in the specific communities. But yeah, it's back in like the 2010s. So yeah, back in the 2010s, there was a bit of an effort to like, hey, maybe we should have cartoons that aren't just made by and for straight white dudes. So there's a bit of an increase in cartoons, with female protagonists, with people of color protagonists, with queer characters existing. More diverse creators and characters. I think particularly with women, though. But yeah, it was just, trying to have, is trying to have more diverse output. And chuds always get pissed off at that sort of thing. There is a segment of straight white men who just really, really hate not being the center of attention. And something is made that isn't specifically geared to them. So they bitched a lot about those cartoons, and the term that got thrown around a lot was CalArts style. Because the idea was, a decent number of these of those creators, like a decent number of those people who were like getting cartoons at that time, graduated from California Institute of the Arts. What's wild though, so the term had been in use apparently since the 90s. John Kay was the one who sort of moved it into the mainstream. in a blog post where he was bitching about the Iron Giant. Like, dude was complaining about the fucking Iron Giant. Like, of all the movies for him to be bitching about when he used that term, like, come on, dude. I haven't even seen, like, I've never watched The Iron Giant, but I'm aware that it is deeply beloved. Some people who just want to be miserable. Yep. Yeah, there's conservatives, conservative people. They are desperate to be victims. Yeah. Anyone who's got like sort of regressive attitudes in general, just they just want so badly to be victims. Annie. Well, stop. Predator the Bees, right? You left the Iron Giant. Yeah, a lot of people did. It was like I said, it was deeply beloved. Maybe I should watch it sometime. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I probably won't bother. Measurements are correct. Nice. Can be huge though. Starting to be a pain in the ass. If it's big, then yeah, it probably would be. Six feet high, 5 feet wide. Yeah, that's big. Like as the tree, using it as the Christmas tree. Mini mausoleum. Christmas cards. Cool Christmas cards. Indeed. Yeah, won't be here tomorrow because my shift ends at 11:30, or is scheduled to end at 11:30. You know, I might get off early, but probably not so early that I'll feel like coming on. Yeah, 3:30 to 11:30, which is actually it's a shift that works well for me, frankly. Though like I said, I do expect that I'll probably end up getting out probably quite a bit early. Friday I work until 8 again, I think. Another 1 day shift. 12 to 8. Friday I'll be 12 to 8, so yeah, I'll probably come on up. Shouldn't be any problems coming on. So, thanks for coming. See you Friday, probably. Good night, everybody.